belong to Governor of Washington, D.C. The Grand Governor, excuse me. Belong to the Grand Governor of Washington, D.C. Brother H. Harris Bay. And to his assistant. Sister D. Jones. Belong to all national, state, and local officials of the Moore Science Temple of America Incorporated. Belong to all national, state, and local officials of the Moore Science Temple of America Incorporated. You belong to all Sheikhs and members. You belong to all Sheikhs and members of the Moore Science Temple of America. You belong to all auxiliaries. You belong to all auxiliaries of the Moore Science Temple of America Incorporated. The Moore Science Temple of America Incorporated. You belong to our media team. You belong to our media team. You belong to both our flags. You belong to both our flags. The American flag. The American flag. You belong to our Morse flag. You belong to our Morse flag. Flag our decent. Flag our decent. You belong to our holy and divine charter. You belong to our holy and divine charter. You belong to everything that the prophet brought and taught. You belong to everything that the prophet brought and taught. For the uplifting of all humanity. For the uplifting of all humanity. You belong to each and every one of you. You belong to each and every one of you. You belong to man. You belong to man. Peace. This time I'll read from Salvation Our God Unity, Moore Science Temple of America, Divine Constitution Bible. Act 1. Grand Sheik, the chairman of the Moore Science Temple of America, is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance and the prophet in the grand body of the Moore Science Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and is known for the members of the Moore Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly, according to Circle 7, in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Fridays I hold their rest, because on the Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on the Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. But that calls Friday the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moore Science Temple of America. No members to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all. It may harm his brother or sister because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must observe these holy and divine laws. All members must obey the laws of the government. Because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and partial of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moore Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of these said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. Because all members must proclaim their nationality. We are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed. They may know that they are a part and a partial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, Ethiopians. Because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. This is a newer time now. All men now must claim a free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live in the nations of the earth. This is we Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained. Noble Deuteronomy the prophet to redeem the people from their simple ways. Most Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabit the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. Our members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of the acts of the Moore Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues, keep an eye on all necessities of the Moore Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband, take care of your children, and look after the duty of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of all humanity. All Moorish Americans will keep their hearts and their minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant from the Holy Prophet Noble Deuteronomy through the guidance of the Father, God Allah. Noble Deuteronomy founder. Moorish American prayer. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Deuteronomy. Amen. This has been from the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. At this time, I'll read from the questionnaire, and this is more remarked by the prophet, Noble Deuteronomy. Act 1. Grand Sheiks and governors. Here's all temples, all members. Each said temple must be approved by the prophet, Noble Deuteronomy. Before acting upon by any member, that is be financed properly On the line like the cost members to sacrifice financial setting. They will call support in group of members. In the form of office, evaluate these laws are subjected to be removed from this office under heavy restriction, exception by the prophet or the grand chief. Act 2. All members are to attend their adapt meetings and the public meetings promptly. When members found standing around a meeting period, should be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second, he will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If members work, his money dues must be paid. And if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Morris Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift the nation. Act 3. It is lawful and divine duty of every good member who is able in finance to aid me in saving the nation. If he does not, he is an enemy because it calls uplifting his own people, and justice must catch you. Let it be he or she, according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as I have power invested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member or any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend the meeting and send children to Sunday school. And teachers must confirm themselves to the questionnaire. And let every member exercise the 5 senses who is able to do so, because ultimately Sunday school comes and guidance of the nation. Act 6. Workers, all members must claim their nationality. We are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed. And they may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians. Because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. This is a new era of time now. All men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government and to live in the nations of the earth. This is the reason why our great God of the universe will name a noble our leader prophet to redeem the people from their simple ways. The Morris Americans are descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabit the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend the meeting to become a part and a partial uplifting act of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay the dues, keep an eye on all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faith. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband, take care of your children, and look after you your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother, be in justice, and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Morris Americans will keep their hearts and their minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant from the Holy Prophet, Noble Dua Ali, to the guidance of the Father, God of Allah. Peace. Peace. This time, I'll read from the Holy Koran of the Moorish Temple of America. Circle 7, divinely prepared by the Noble Prophet, Dua Ali, by the guidance of the Father, God of Allah, great God of the universe, to redeem man from the sinful and fallen stage of man back to the highest thing of life, which is Father, God of Allah. I'll read from divine instruction from the Holy Prophet, chapter 25, found on page 35. The Holy Covenant of the Asiatic nation. Ye are the children of one Father, provides care, and the rest of one mother has given you son. That the bonds of affection therefore unite you with their brothers. The peace and happiness be dwell in the Father's house. And ye separates in the world. Remember a relation that binds you to love and unity, and be first not a stranger before their own blood. If the brother is in adversity, assist him. If the sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortune of their father, children to support his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Islam. Officially open our Sunday school Quran class. Anybody out front or downstairs? It's over these lessons. Islam more. Islam. More of the sounds that raise our thoughts up to infinite wisdom. It's now have our minds open so we can bless the treasures that can be poured out today from the podium. Praying she come out of there. So we can begin now. Islam. This time I'll put it today. I'll call out Grand Chief and moderator. Brother R. Jones, come up and instruct our Sunday school Koran class. Islam. Oh, you want me to start it, right? Yeah. Allah, Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day. Who is my Father, you are. Amen. Praise God. You know, in the future, you don't have to wait for me. If the Spirit moves, whoever the Spirit moves, do it. Don't rely on one person. Don't never rely on one person. Always be prepared to do what? Take the lead. Because you all are leaders. All of you are leaders. And when that urge hits you, you're going to have to lead. Remember that. Who made you? Who is alive? Can we see him? No. Where is the nearest place we can meet him? No. Who is noble duality? What is a prophet? What is the duty of a prophet? Who is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America? What year was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded?
1913 AD.
Where?
Northern New Jersey.
Where was noble duality born?
In the state of North Carolina, 1886.
What is your nationality?
Moorish.
What is your nationality?
Moorish.
Why are we Moorish American?
For
For what purpose was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded?
the uplifting of all Americans.
How did the prophet begin to uplift the Moorish Americans?
I teach them to give themselves.
Say it again. How did the prophet begin to uplift the Moorish Americans?
I teach them to give themselves.
What is our religion?
Islam
Is that a new or is that the old time religion?
whole time religion.
What kind of a flag is a Moorish?
It is a red flag by 5 on the
What kind of a flag is a Moorish? What kind of a flag is the Moorish?
It is a red flag with 5 on the south.
What do the 5 points represent?
Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice.
How old is our flag?
It is over 10,000 years old.
Which is our holy day?
Friday.
Why?
That's Friday on the next night on the flesh. And it was on Friday we part of our flesh.
Let's do that again. Why?
Because Friday the day was man formed in flesh. And it was on Friday when we part of our flesh.
Who was Jesus?
He was the prophet of Allah.
Where was he born?
In Bethlehem, Egypt, in the house of David.
Who were his father and mother?
Joseph and Mary.
Will you give in brief the line genealogy through which Jesus came?
Some of the great fathers who was Jesus came are Abraham, Boaz, Ruth, Jesse, King David, Solomon, Hezekiah, and Joseph.
Why did Allah send Jesus to this earth?
Save the Israelites from the iron and oppression of the great nations of Europe, who governed the portion of our time at that time.
How long has that been?
About 2,000 years ago.
What was the nationality of Ruth?
Ruth was a Moabite.
What is the modern name for Moabite?
Moroccans.
Where is the Moroccan Empire?
Northwestern Mexico.
What is the modern name for Mexico?
Africa.
What is the title given to our ruler in Morocco?
Sultan.
Where do we get the name Jesus?
From the east.
What does the name Jesus mean?
Jesus means justice.
Did the angel give to the child that was called Jesus a holy name?
Yes, we have to use our those things.
What is an angel?
Angels are manifested in human flesh.
What are angels used for?
To carry messages to the four corners of the world to all nations.
What is our prophet to us?
He is an angel of God who sent to bring us the gospel of God.
What is the everlasting gospel?
It is saving power coming from God who out his Father.
What is the covenant of the great God Allah?
Honor thy father and mother, that days may be long on earth, and Lord thy God.
At what age did Jesus begin to teach?
At age 12,
Where did he teach?
in the afternoon,
How long did he teach?
18 years.
What did Jesus say that would make you free?
Truth.
What is truth?
Truth is all.
What is all?
All is all.
Can truth change?
Truth cannot change or pass away.
What other name do we give to truth?
Holy breath.
What have you to say about holy breath?
All we can say is great is good, it was, it is, and ever will be. Amen.
At what place on earth was the physical body of man formed?
In the Garden of Eden,
Where is the Garden of Eden?
in the land of Canaan, Syria, and Africa.
What is the modern name for the Garden of Eden? What is the name of the first physical man?
His name cannot be used on the lives that were ruled the AC of the MST of A.
What are the words of AC of the MST of A?
And that chamber was the most sign symbol of our paradigm.
Who were Adam and Eve?
They are mothers and fathers of the human family, Asia, Africa, Mars.
Where did they go?
They went to Asia.
What is the modern name given to their children?
Asia.
Who is guarding the holy city of Mecca today to keep the unbelievers away?
Angels.
What is the modern name for those angels?
Asia.
What is the shade of their skin?
Allah.
Are the Moorish Americans in relation to those angels?
Yes, God is the same father and mother.
Give 5 names that are given to the descendants of Adam and Eve.
Lucifer, Satan, the devil, dragon, and beast.
What is the devil sometimes called?
The Lord self.
How many cells are there?
2.
Name them.
High self and lower self.
What people represent the higher self?
The angels who protect the holy city of heaven.
What people represent the lower self?
Those who cast out the holy city, those who accept.
What is the higher self?
The high self is among the virtues and the houses of life. Read justice, mercy, love, and right.
Can the higher self pass away?
No.
Why?
Because it's a lot of man.
What does the lower self breathe?
Hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything around.
What did the higher self say to the lower self at one time when he met him?
What are you going to say?
What was the answer that the lower self gave to the higher self?
I am going to and fro the earth, seeking what I might get out.
As he finished his task of devotion,
Yes.
when was his time declared out?
When he nailed Jesus on the cross,
What are the last words Jesus uttered?
it is finished.
What did he have reference to?
He had reference to the insect.
Did Jesus say that he would return to conquer him?
Yes.
What is the name of the person into whom Jesus was first reincarnated?
Muhammad the conqueror.
Was Satan to be bound there?
Satan was not our
When was the head of Satan taken off?
1453 2010.
By whom?
Muhammad.
Name some of the marks that were put upon the Moors of Northwest by the European nations in 1774.
Negro, black, color, Negro.
Negro.
And given to a river was that by war.
What is meant by the word black?
Black, according to science, means that.
What does the word colored mean?
Color means anything that has a hint, stain, bounce to that.
What does Ethiopia mean?
Ethiopia means something black.
Can a man be a Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian?
No.
Why?
Because the man is made in the inside.
What title does Satan give himself?
God.
When you define the word what? White. Okay. All right. Okay. Will you define the word white?
White means purity, purity means God, God means the ruler of the land.
To whom do we refer to us at times as being the great God? Is the devil made in the image and likeness of Allah?
No, we shall our Lord self who passed away.
Who made the devil?
Elohim.
Who is Elohim?
Elohim the seven greatest spirits that created everything that ever was, is, and will be.
What is Elohim sometimes called?
The 7 eyes of Allah.
How many days are in the circle?
7 days.
How many days are in a creation?
7 days.
According to science, how many days are in a year?
7 days.
That's good. Let me ask you a question.
What distinguishes a nation? What is something that distinguishes a nation from another nation?
Customs.
Okay. What else?
Flags.
Say it. What you say?
Principle.
Flag.
Principle. Flags. Principles.
Moral character.
Yeah. Character.
Bloodline.
Yeah.
Language.
Bloodline. What you say?
Language.
Language. That's good. Yes. 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 Why? You said flag. Why is it that a flag, or how can a flag represent a nation of people? How can a flag represent a nation of people?
Principles.
It is, yes, principles, no question. But how can a flag do that?
It identifies you.
It does what?
Identifies.
Identifies. It identifies a certain characteristic of a people. Every nation has characteristics of their own. And we have characteristics. And those characteristics that we have are what? What are some of the characteristics that we have as a nation of people? Love, we no question. No question. But the question is, do we exhibit it? We have it, but the advantage lies not in the possessing, but in the knowing to use it.
That's right.
You see?
Yes.
What other characteristics do we have?
Unity.
Unity. Again, the question is,
Do we use it?
do we use it? We have it, but do
don't
we use it?
like we should.
What else?
Submission to the will of Allah.
Submission to the will of Allah. The question now is, of course, the same question. Do we submit? Come on, Mom.
Yes, I was thinking about, founders of a holy city. But then I thought about that, might have felt a duty
Duty.
as opposed to characteristic, but
See, in other words, what is the character of our people? Come on,
Industry.
industry. We have been industrious. Yeah. What else is the character of our people? Because understand, you're saying that those principles on that flag represent who? Us.
Us as a nation.
So the question is, are we representing the flag? Or is it just a cloth with a green star in the center that's red, that we say it represents love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice? But how can it can only represent love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice if we are what? Right, if we are representing. So that's the question. Are we representing? Come on.
So we are learning, we are in the process of learning to live up to its standards.
We are learning to live up to its standards. Okay. Well, how does one show that they are even attempting to live up to the standards? By abiding the law. Yes, but by abiding the law only, or by being what? Consistent.
Practicing.
And consistently.
Practicing. Yes.
A consistent way of life that we display at all times. Yes.
through your actions, words.
It has to be. It has to be.
and words.
It has to be. That's the practice. Learning how to live the life of a what? That's good. I thought you were going to say Marshall Mary. Come on.
Jackson, I would like to say that I've been in this movement over 20-some years, and it's been a process for me to decide whether or not not to decide to make an issue, make a decision in my life to try to change me.
Okay.
I don't think nobody here can say that they completely holy like Jesus was. They never raised that way. Half of us people.
Okay. Come on, Mark.
Words, works, and deeds
Words,
are
works,
the
and
proof of your Messiah.
Islam, was Muslim appropriate for
Yeah,
as opposed to
yeah.
American?
You're a Muslim before you're a Moorish American.
That's right, boy.
I just thought about for the applicable to the conversation that was
Yes.
on the floor.
Yes,
Would Moorish Americans been more feasible than Muslims?
right.
But either or.
No, it's no. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I thought about another characteristic. That means to go backwards, but strength.
Yeah.
We had to be strong. We had to show some strength in what we endured over the years for us to get to where we was at now.
Okay.
You know, some of the stuff that we took and what was put in us.
Okay.
Yeah, strength would definitely be a characteristic.
Yeah. Well, you display that now. You're showing that you're strong now. The question, of course, becomes: we're strong in coming, but are we strong in internalizing? See, are we strong? Are we strong in internalizing what? The truth, yes. The message, yes. The what? Internalizing what?
The principles.
The principle.
The principles.
So you gotta ask yourself, are we doing this the right way? Am I really doing this the right way? Yeah.
Well, I would say from an old point of view, dealing with the two sides of a person's image, his personality, I'm seeing like I'm running into more people that's not in the lane that I'm in. So I have to learn how to be able to adapt to them and show them my principles in certain ways. Because, it's kind of hard to try to get that other half to understand you, when you going a certain way, seem like, that not that many followers, more so they just there. No matter how much you display the principles or whatever you do, it's not on you to decide, make a decision that they will come your way. You know what I mean?
Not only that, Mo, you gotta examine yourself in this regard. You may have a perception that you are displaying the principles, but what you fail to see in yourself, others discover you most plainly. Your perception may be you're displaying the principles, but from the outward point of view, it may not necessarily be that. That's why you can't get caught up on who understands what you're doing or not. Because it's always a constant working on who?
Yourself.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're growing. And what's my obeying the principles today, tomorrow, it may not be that. It may have evolved into something else that helps you to see that what I thought I was doing, I wasn't really doing.
So when is the balance come to an end? I mean,
There's
if
no
you,
end.
if you floating,
No,
you
it ain't.
floating.
It's no end. What you're trying, because the end is when you become balanced.
Yeah.
But when you become balanced, then you're one. But as long as you are in the pursuit of becoming balanced,
Yes.
that's the key. See, we're trying to gain our footing. And it's a process as we gain our footing. I'm trying to really understand what this principle of love really means. I have a concept or I have a perception of what love is, but I may not be correct because love can't be circumscribed. So where am I along the point of understanding what love is? Do I really know what love is? Or am I still selfishly looking at love from someone or love from something or love and then I expect it in return? Because if once the minute that you still believe that you're supposed to get something in return, that's not love. It appears to be love while you get something in return, but what happens when you no longer get something in return? Is it still love? Or do you react to not getting something in return? Do your feelings get hurt? You know? Especially when it's come from somebody that you believe, and we'll just use a person for the sake of discussion. We believe that this person really loves me, and I have given all my all to this person because I love them. But now, a change comes about. How do you respond to that love that you think that you had for someone else when it's no longer like you thought it should be? Now the examination of love comes into play because I have to look and see, is this really love or is this selfish love? And of course, selfish love is not really love at all.
That's right.
It's an examination to come into balance. It's an examination that you have to look at truth, the truth that you have accepted as being true. Because maybe the truth that you have accepted as being true is not really truth at all. But to bring in balance, you have to examine what? You have to examine your what? Yes. Thank you. Examine your heart. See what's in that heart. Because until you do that, you don't know. You simply what?
Yes.
You guess. And now the challenge comes. And you haven't done no examination. You've just taken for granted. And now you find out that your foundation is what? Shaky. Come on.
So when you take that marriage vow, and you and that woman say, y'all committed y'allself, I mean, you know, but y'all going in different directions, you know, and you don't see eye to eye,
Yeah.
you know, then you got a problem, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So now you got to decide, that, what about this? Is this really love? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you took that marriage vow, you claimed that you was gonna love her
Yeah.
and she was gonna love you.
Yeah.
But what happened?
But see, that's why
But even with that, we need to remember that there are different phases and different aspects of it.
Yes.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't love there anymore. It may be, the love may be just as strong as it ever was. But what comes into play is your perception or your needs and how you look at things may be the cause for the separation or the need to go in different directions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't see that as necessarily an indicator that there is no longer love there. It's just a different aspect of it is now come to the forefront than what it was at first. Even with love, we grow, and how we see things today, tomorrow we may not see it that way.
Right. Right. That's right. Yes.
That's why I always say examine with care.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not something.
And fix that suddenly. Right. But see, that's all a part of. Come on, back.
Even when I think about love, sometimes I think about Love is everlasting, but infatuation
Yeah,
just lasts for a moment,
right, right,
you know,
right, right.
kind of swine with each other.
Right, right. But that's the whole point about what we're talking about, bringing it in what? Bringing into what? One, or bringing into balance. There's a lot of things that we're going to go through as we bring this thing into balance. And that's why it's so important that you take the time to do what? Examine. You gotta take the time to examine. See, when we come into the Moorish Science Temple of America, we hear things that some of us are familiar with and some of us are not so familiar with it. But whatever it is, it still makes an impact on our thinking.
Yes, sir.
And then what we try to do, we try to take it all in and all of a sudden straighten up. But we're straightening ourselves up based on what we've heard and what we think perhaps is true. It's not founded yet. We think perhaps this is true, so we automatically take on a posture because I'm a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
Yeah.
And now this is where I'm supposed to be. But you haven't done what? Examine. You haven't looked at it to really see if this is what it really is.
Yeah.
And you got to be ready to make adjustments. Because see, some of us get so stubborn and we don't want to change. We want to make it conform to us instead of us conforming to it.
Islam.
Come on.
So would you suggest that metaphorically or figuratively, we go into the wilderness on a regular basis to be alone with Allah to do that examination? As a part of being consistent.
Yeah. But see, we have to get to that point. That's coming into balance because we have to bring this into balance, our acceptance that God exists. We're still trying to figure it out. Does he really exist? How can I talk about love and say this is what love is unless I accept love and determine if in fact it really exists? That's the process of coming into balance. You got to ask yourself questions. You can't take for granted that you understand. How do you understand a principle like truth?
So
Because truth can't be what? Circumscribed. So you have to examine continuously. You got to look at truth continuously. Yeah.
that's the same way as the 5 principles.
That is the, yeah,
You
that is.
understand? You're dealing with spirits there.
Yeah.
And those spirits have different reaction. Say one thing and do another.
But when you say that you're representing the flag, got you here. We are saying, we come in here and we say, that's the Moorish flag. And that flag represents, in the center of that flag, we represent love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And we take for granted that we are representing love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Because we think we may know exactly what love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice is. But that's a principle, that's a rule, that is those are divine principles. So you got to continue to examine those principles because you can't take for granted you know what it is.
No.
You got to continue to examine that.
You said that.
Because that's a catchy phrase. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
That's right.
And you say that, and you think, I know what love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice is.
Oh my God. Don't say that.
But it may not be what you have. If you say, I know what it is, you have done what? Stop. You're no longer examining because you think you know what it is.
That's a presumed folly.
That it is. It's a presumption.
Yeah.
Come on, yo.
Islam.
It's done.
Islam. Praise be to Allah. You know, and for all of us who are
coming into the light of truth here in the North Side Temple of America, it's a transition. It's a transition from how we were thinking to what we're being introduced to. And our willingness and openness to accept what this truth is and what these principles are inside of us. Most of us, even to this moment, we don't know if we're stirred in part or not. We have to accept that through our practice, and we have to think about it as it relates to what the prophet is teaching us. We have to be open. Remember, purity pays the way for love.
Yes, no.
We have stuff that we still got to get out of us.
Yes, no.
And a lot of times when we come in here and we have changed what we perceive to be some of our ways, we think we there. And we on the path. But there's still parts of us that ain't let go of some of our ways.
Yes, no.
And how we've been thinking even while we've been in here and before we got in here. So we don't want to hear what the prophet said. You know, and if we're using it in relationships, he teaches the brothers to be not severe to their weakness, but remember our own good imperfection. We're not perfect, so we got to be able to make adjustments in how we perceive the next one. And even as we're going through issues, don't look at the other person so much first, look at yourself. What can I do to make this better? How can I continue to strengthen this relationship? And not limiting it to just intimate relationships, but I'm saying even relationships with each other. I'm talking about all of us. And we even studied chapter 25, the bonds of affection. Are we working toward that? See, all of this is a living experience for us as we're starting to transition to a way of thinking that lets you not think from a carnal point of view. And that's the key is for that transitional thinking that we have to have, but it also ignites your ability to look at yourself more importantly than what the other person is doing. Because you're supposed to be an example of the prophet if we're imitating him to make the difference in any relationship that you have. And then the constancy that you talked about being consistent keeps you from falling back. See, because we'll easily revert to what we most comfortable with, especially if somebody's giving you a challenge. So we got to be prepared to just get some of those things out. That's not to say we're not doing it. We're a long way from where we were. But we still got a long way to go. And so when you talk about relationships, and I think Sister Joan Bay, and I'm going to be finished, Sister Joan Bay said something important. Just because people fall out, that don't mean you stop caring for them. That don't mean you don't still have that bond of affection for them. That just means something that either you was doing or something brought y'all to a fork in the road that you got to work on. If you want it to be sustained.
Right.
Yes, sir.
But remember, once you make a choice based on your feelings getting hurt, and you make a choice from the previous statement that you make to yourself that I love, and I'm not just talking about people, I'm just talking about anything. You say, I love, but once your feelings can alter that love, it ceases to be love. Once it's altered, once you change, because love doesn't change.
It doesn't change.
It remains the same. In spite of whatever difference of opinion, and it's only opinion, a difference of opinion one may encounter. My position that I've taken towards you And how I feel about you, now I'm back to a person. How I feel about you should not be altered because we have a difference of opinion.
Exactly.
Because if that's the case, it's not love. Because love does not change. Regardless of what you may encounter, it does not change. And when if you just stay the course, you'll find out you can work it out.
Yes, happiness.
Because it's love.
Right.
Yeah.
Islam, kind of statement and a question to you.
Yeah.
So in my life, I've adopted what I like to think of as at least a stepping stone
Right,
to learning how to love.
right,
That kind of has given me good results. Consideration.
right,
To be considerate,
right,
I found,
right,
is something recognizable to the other person,
right,
because neither one of us may have a good concept of what true and divine love is.
right,
But if I can just be thoughtful
right,
or thoughtfully considerate
Right.
enough,
right,
sometimes
right,
that'll bring about the desired results of us having a good bond and leaving one another
right,
with the attitude,
right,
yeah, that was a good exchange.
right,
I didn't treat them as if they didn't matter,
right,
because to me, that's one of the traits I think comes with my personality.
right,
And over the years, I have tried to always remember,
right,
be thoughtfully considerate to the other person.
right,
Now, I may not be able to do grand things for them,
right,
but if I can come up with something as small as the tone I use when I'm
Right.
talking to them,
right,
reminding them that, yeah, I'm willing to do that. It might be inconvenient,
right,
but I'm willing to try to go out of the way to do something that somebody else might just push to the side
right,
or think small of,
right,
So I've seen that kind of pay off for me,
right,
you know. Peace.
right. Come on.
I'd like to bring up the Constitution, the Act 5. It said we're part and parcel of this said government.
Right.
Could you explain to me what part and parcel we fit?
What does part mean?
Huh?
What does part mean?
Part of something,
What does partial mean?
partial of something.
Therein lies the question. We need to look up those words. You need to get
That's not the question I
definition
asked.
that you can understand. Because until you want me to give you the answer, all you gotta do is look it up for yourself.
No, that's not what I asked.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. Because if you look it up for yourself, then you'll get a workable definition within
Okay,
your
I'll
head.
bring it up now. We'll look it up.
Look it up. Anyway, we're going to talk about that in the first place. He, you know what? I have a tendency to give him too much leeway. Because see, he'll switch he'll go in another direction when he's quick.
It's not.
That's what he does.
Yes.
And I gotta accept the fact that he does that.
Yes, yes.
But I don't want to see, the thing is, it's like it's difficult for him to focus on what we're talking about, so he goes to an area that he's comfortable with.
It's not. It's not.
Now I don't want to cut him off, because I think he should have an opportunity to express himself.
That's right. It's portion.
But what we want to do, we want to stay what? Focused.
Man, we know.
We gotta stay focused. Because you must give the thought an opportunity to do what? Develop. The thought can only develop if you give it what? Yeah, attention and what else? Yes, but what else?
Feed.
Yes, but what else?
Energy.
Energy.
It's not.
You gotta feed it with energy so it can do what?
Grow.
Grow. And to do what? Develop and to do what?
Get strength.
To manifest.
It's not.
So it can manifest.
It's not.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
We gotta stay focused.
It's not.
You know?
Yeah. Back to the topic that's on the floor.
Yeah.
Love, so love, it shouldn't waver, huh?
No, more.
Or it can't fade or weaken?
More. Does God weaken?
No,
Does God fade?
no.
No.
Fade? So what is God?
Love.
He's love.
He's love.
Yes, yes,
He's love.
exactly.
So that wouldn't be considered love if your so-called love fades or weakens, it don't disappear or be no more, but it weakens or fades, that's not true love.
No, more. See, you see more. You know, what happens is we have a tendency to put love in a category and think that it has to be a certain way with us all the time. But as you unfold, what? Love unfolds.
Exactly. God unfolds.
That love doesn't go anywhere that you had, but as you unfold, love unfolds. So, and when that takes place, you are in a what stage? A developmental stage.
Exactly.
No? Yeah, Mom.
And if we look at it even from this perspective, you know, it's in degrees.
Yes.
You love your family members,
Yes.
or you say, or you love your children,
Yes.
or you love your mate.
Yes.
Those degrees of that affection that you're showing to each of those different categories I just mentioned are oftentimes different. And sometimes you have conflict, sometimes you fall out with each other, but you don't cease to love them or have that affection for them just because y'all having a disagreement or going through something. And even as we're developing, one of the key things that came to my mind was when she was already talking, we can't leave it out. And we talking about humanity,
Yes.
friendship.
Yes.
Friendship is one of the instructions that we have been given. Read the chapter on the social duties. We're supposed to develop friendships. And even, and just keep this one thing in mind. And this is for everybody because we oftentimes may not look at it. And I'll use myself as an example. My wife is also my sister.
It's not. It's not.
My wife is also my sister.
It's not.
So we gotta make sure we understand that. Yeah, I emphasize it.
It's
It's not.
Not by your fault.
Sometimes prophecy, you gotta make it plain.
It's not.
You straighten that out. My wife, my sister ain't my wife. I mean, she according to my nationality, yeah. But how can she be my wife? I mean, that's a sister from your father and mother on earth.
We're talking about two things.
Calm that
We're
down.
talking about two things.
It'll come.
Yeah, it'll come to
It'll
me.
come.
What do you say? What do you say?
It's
We
not.
are the children of one father.
One father, yes,
You know what I mean?
yes.
His kid.
And we look, and one mother.
Yeah. This.
It ain't but one. See, you looking at it from the what point of view?
Carnal.
Carnal point of view. We ain't talking about brothers and sisters from the carnal point of view, Mom. All of us are brothers and sisters. Every last one of us are brothers and sisters.
Yes.
So, like my mentor told me, when you get married, you gotta marry your sister.
That's when you got to be married.
That's it.
That's
You
it.
gotta marry your
You
sister.
got to.
I mean, you ain't going low with that
No.
because it ain't low. You know, one thing I was thinking about this week too, when we talk about imitating the prophet, and this is not deviating too much, we talk about imitating the prophet. Has brothers ever thought about how sisters see imitating the prophet? We see it from the male's point of view, but have we ever given any thought about how the sisters see imitating the prophet?
Because what we're imitating has nothing to do with gender.
None, no, more than one.
We're imitating spirit, thought.
Exactly.
That's right, man. That's right.
Exactly. We're imitating thought.
Yes, dope.
Because our sisters see imitating the prophet quite different than what we see in some instances. Yet, what they see is the same that we see.
That's right.
Yes,
Same as one.
But they see it from a certain point of view.
That's one.
And all this encompasses that flag. We're only talking about this because that flag represents something to us. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Do you think that if a nation of people were living up
Come on, Mo.
to the standards of the principles that star and flag represent, it could represent any nation of people on this planet?
Look more.
Is it
Well,
just confined to us?
Right, only because we're in the state that we're in.
It's it's
But yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
I'm asking just to make that point.
Yeah,
It's not circumscribed.
right.
How can you circumscribe love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice to any one group of people?
Right.
If a group of people are living up to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, then Allah becomes their father too, according to our prayer.
Right. Well, but you know what? Allah's already there.
Yeah, that's the
Yes,
point.
sir.
Exactly. That
Yes,
goes
sir.
back to what you was just
Yes,
saying
sir.
about there is no gender. We create those walls and lines of demarcation based on finite thinking,
Right.
carnal thinking.
Right.
And the reason why I'm tuning in, I just completely read a book that I've had in my possession for years. And I was just telling Prima Bay, for the first time in my life, I see the broader picture. Now, I ain't making no claim.
Right.
I ain't holding myself out there to understand something I don't.
Right.
What I'm saying is my understanding has increased just a little
Right.
to see the bigger picture.
Right.
I'm actually looking at some of the National Guardsmen
Right.
who, based on an external perception,
Right.
you would immediately perceive they to be enemies.
Right.
But I'm thinking, oh, based on what I read, this great teacher teaching,
Right.
Allah is his father too.
Right.
And our needs are common
Right.
in the same way I get hungry, so does he. He get cold, so do I.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what is this idea of always wanting to create demarcation lines based on trivial nonsense?
Right. Right.
Because I might need him
Right.
one day
Right.
to act like a brother.
Right.
And I'm hoping that I've showed him I can be a brother to him, race or no race.
Right.
Because being a brother has nothing to do with skin. It has to do with those principles on that flag.
Right.
Peace.
Right. That's good. That's good. And you know, I'll tell you something else to think about in that regard. You know, when you're thinking about that, we have to recognize the fact. You said, why is it that we don't do that? It's because of the lower self in man.
Of
That's
course, yeah.
That's
Of course, absolutely.
That's the
Yes,
fight.
sir. Yes, sir. That's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
But
Learn to fight who?
Self.
Ourselves.
Ourselves.
So that we can knock down those walls and those barriers that we have created. See, remember, that way of thinking is our creation.
Right.
Because we accepted
They're
those
teaching.
teachings.
They're teaching.
Now, if we created those walls and those barriers, then it's upon who to do what? Us.
Us. Yeah.
To remove,
To remove them. No?
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
starts with our thinking.
And once we do that, Mo, Now we are representatives of the principles that's represented in the center of that flag.
Exactly.
That's right.
Come on, Brother
It's
Brandon.
not, you know, just going back to that, how I can see that flag as a saving power. You know, as, you know, the 5 principles that govern that flag and govern us, you know, how I can see it now as a saving power, love being a saving power to me, because we can ignorance how,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You know, so can I be humble enough to see that, you know, as my saving power, you know, standing on that love.
Yeah. But remember, the 5-pointed star is just a representation of the principles. They're not the principles itself.
Exactly.
So,
They just represent something to serve as a what? A reminder.
Right. That's right, Mo.
It's only a reminder
it's not.
because the principles are internal.
It's not. It's not. It's not.
That's right.
It's not.
Yes,
And the devil is on a mission too.
yes,
You know, he's trying to stop you from getting where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
You know, so he's creating things too.
yeah,
Just like we're trying to create things
yeah,
to uplift ourselves.
yeah,
The devil's trying to do everything to keep us from doing where and getting where we're trying to go.
It's not.
You know,
yeah,
so he's gonna throw some obstacles at you.
yeah.
You
But
know,
remember, you're the one that's throwing the obstacles at yourself.
Come on, Mo.
It's not.
Because you're the devil.
You the devil. It's not.
That's it.
And that's what we're trying to get, what?
Understand?
Yeah, get understanding about it, how to confront it. But we're also trying to get what? We're trying to become in balance. Balance. Balance leads to what? Oneness.
Oneness.
Exactly.
Oneness.
See, once we get in balance, the other side does not exist. Because it's an illusion anyway.
It's not. It's not. It's
And we no longer create under the influence of the illusion.
That's right.
See, therein lies the danger.
Mm.
I create from the higher self, and I also create from the lower self.
It's not. Must be fight.
So the question is, which one do I choose?
That's it.
That's important.
Yeah, more. Because what do I lean towards? What turns me on?
Yeah.
And what turns me off?
And especially with us.
Yeah.
When I say us, I'm saying we as members of this organization are trying to practice. You said something earlier. See, we want to make this fit us.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of, we coming through this whole divine movement, we're gaining understanding, and then we want to still bring the other part and make
That fit.
it be a part of this, and it's not a part of this.
It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not a part of this. Come on.
It's
My
not.
sister.
I was going back to, earlier when you were talking about self-examination,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And we got to put in some sincerity in their self-examination, right?
Yeah.
And when we talk about love, we gotta take time and divide the cardinal from the spirit and really get the definition of what true love is.
Yeah.
Cause we still gonna take the two mixtures and think we got it right. We got to be sincere in dividing what true divine love is
Yeah.
from that cardinal love.
Yeah.
And be willing to make some sacrifices
Yeah.
when we do the sacrifice. Because a lot of times we don't wanna give up certain things.
Yeah.
We wanna hold on to it
Yeah.
because it makes us feel good.
Yeah. 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 Come on, yo.
It's not, I was thinking about the American flag
Right.
as its representation,
Right.
also like the Moorish flag.
Right. But what is the American flag representation?
Well, I know that the stars represent the
Okay.
state
Okay, go ahead.
But help me out, I failed.
No, listen,
13 lines.
one represents earthly
Yeah.
and the other represents divine.
Exactly. Exactly.
The American flag represents a worldly point of view
It does.
It's not.
because it's earthly.
Mhm.
But we remember, we deal with the earthly and divine. The divine is what gives us balance
It's not. It's not.
as we work our way through this maze of chaos and confusion
Yeah, flow,
that the world offers.
Exactly.
Thank you for enlightening me, thank you for sharing.
flow.
But you see what I'm saying, Mo?
Uh-huh.
That's what gives us the direction. That's why it's important that you return to the state of mind of your ancient
Oh, come
forefathers.
on, Mama.
It's not.
That's it right there.
That's why we gotta go, because we have been blinded, or we have been taken away from the divine, and we've been focusing on the world.
Yeah,
It's not.
And we got caught up in the world.
that's right.
Because that flag represents their teachings. Therefore, you got to know where you come from. You got to know who your ancient forefathers were. Because if you don't, you'll take on theirs.
That's right. It's not.
And that's what we did.
And that's what we did. And we became like them.
That's right.
Or we strive to be like them.
And we just talked about it, baby, when you went through the questionnaire.
Yeah.
Those who were cast out
And those that they teach. That's right.
we were all under that flag, all of
That's
man.
right. That's right.
I know people say the flag, that's everybody's flag.
Yeah.
But that was the first religious creed.
Yes.
For mankind on earth. Not North Americans. Mankind.
Right. That's right. That's right. So we honor
Yes.
the American flag. But we understand that we practice
More so.
exactly.
Because the American, which makes us dual, right? Dual,
The American gives us a place of what look, America gave us a place to call. We call because based on where we were born. We were born physically in America.
In America.
A spirit took on physical flesh in what is known as America. So we honor that. This is where I was born. But what governs me is that.
Exactly.
That helps me to get through this illusion
And
that we call America.
that's the guy, that's the guy.
It gives us the direction.
That's right.
Divine.
And it keeps us in tune with the fact that we are spirits.
That's right. Divine.
They know that.
Yeah.
Just briefly, to give honor to our Grand Chief, Brother Chase Hill, because what I hear and what I see are the dynamics and mechanics of logical, common sense deduction. If you listened at him and the whole dialogue, we were putting pieces together that allowed everybody, but he just beat us there, to arrive at the same conclusion when he says that's everybody's flag by virtue of the fact that we were the creators of the first religious creed through which the first religion was instituted for mankind. Now I'm bringing that up to say, Faulkner Bay, continue to do as best you can the job of looking at the literature, really listening to what it actually says, and drawing the connections, the connected references that can only lead you to a common sense, logical conclusion. Because sometimes, if I don't, I'll end up simply guessing. And I'll waste time scratching my head as to why I can't get a common sense conclusion from what's being made clear if I just listen more carefully to what the prophet is saying, how he has said it, in the literature. Don't go on my own. Don't let in no suppositions and merely ideas and general opinions. Listen carefully at what the prophet is saying in the literature. Stick with that, and I'll usually end up with a common sense solution or conclusion that works for me, right for myself, and when I'm trying to explain it simply to somebody else.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But you gotta go back to the prophet.
That's
You have
right. That's right.
You can't get away from the prophet. These discussions that we have is based on what the prophet is teaching. So what you gotta go back to the prophet. You gotta go, and some of you who may not have the literature that talks about, especially how it goes in depth about nationality, you need to make sure you have a copy of that. Because it's things that he describes or talks about in pertaining to nationality that we may not have that, we may not really grasp that. But you got to go back and familiarize yourself with it. And if you familiarize yourself with it, you will find out it'll open up to you.
Exactly.
But there's something that you can read in the cares of the world, that pamphlet, the cares of the world, and you'll find out some of that. But that's highly developed legal talk
Exactly.
pertaining to nationality. But if you don't familiarize yourself with it, you won't understand it.
You won't.
And then what happens is when you don't understand something, some of us get so arrogant that we substitute our thought
That's it.
from what he's saying, and then we base our actions about that particular paragraph or statement, and we take that and we run with it.
And that's dangerous.
It's really dangerous.
That's dangerous.
No foundation.
None. So make sure you get it and familiarize yourself with it. Yeah. So anyway, that's what the discussion was about, the flag. And as to whether or not we are truly representing the 5 principles in the center of the reading flag and that green star. Yeah.
So you said something earlier about the love thing. And I gotta go back to my wife,
Right.
the relationship that we had.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? How love has came into my life.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Through sickness and health and all of that.
right,
You know, you be tested.
right,
You know, how strong is that love?
right,
You know, is it unconditional? Or
right,
is it carnal?
right,
You know, is it spiritual?
right,
You know, being without the source, you know, and being for a minute away from it.
right,
It will challenge you.
yeah,
Thought.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Is the love there? You
yeah,
know, or was it just a carnal thing?
Right.
An appetite, a desire.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So I build myself on that relationship
right,
because it introduced me to love.
okay,
She introduced me to love.
okay,
You know what I'm saying? That 30-something years.
okay,
You know, through sickness and health, you know, up and down.
right,
You know what I'm saying? We're going through our life. You know, the building of that relationship.
right,
You know what I'm saying? It bonded us. You
right,
know, bonded us into love,
right,
truth, peace, freedom, and justice. You know, that's our relationship. You view from a Moorish point of view.
right,
You know, that's how I got introduced to love on that level.
praise
You know,
God,
studying my brother, mother, father. You know, from a woman point of view.
right,
You know what I'm saying? They opened my mind up.
that's good, good, that's good. Let's go to the Holy Koran. Okay, divine instructions from who? Chapter what? What's the title? What's the title? What's the title of the chapter 29?
Master instruction, Holy instruction, master instruction.
O God, who art narrow with the beauty, sincerity. O thou, the favorite of heaven, whom the sons of men, thy equals, have agreed to raise to sovereign power and set as a ruler over themselves. consider the ends and importance of their trust far more than the dignity and height of thy station. We've been there. Thou art clothed in purple and seated on a throne. The crown of majesty investeth thy temples. The scepter of power is placed in thy hand. But not for thyself were these ensigns given, not meant for thine own, but the good of thy kingdom. We've discussed that. The glory of a king is the welfare of his people. His power and dominion rest on the hearts of his subjects. Did we not discuss it? Talk about that? All right. The mind of a great prince is exalted with the grandeur of his situation. He evolveth high things and searches for business worthy of his power. Where do we stop? Okay. Number 5. He calleth together the wise men of his kingdom. He consulteth among them with freedom, and heareth the opinions of them all. Explain that. He calleth together what? Who? Wise. What makes a person wise? Who is to determine who is wise? What is the determining factor of who? What's a determining? There you go. What is a determining factor of wisdom?
Consistent practice. Clear perception.
Knowledge.
This,
You have to know.
What is wisdom?
The consciousness.
What is wisdom?
The consciousness.
Of that what?
That man is all.
And what?
One.
So those are the people he consults with. The people who are conscious. Who's conscious? The one who what is that? I mean, who is conscious? What is consciousness? Awareness. So you're going to consult with the people who are aware of what?
It's condition.
The conditions, yeah, but who are aware of what? That Allah and man are one. That's who you're going to call to talk to. That's who you want to confer with. You confer with those who believe in God. You want to consult with the godly, not the ungodly, but the godly, the thinkers who think on a higher what? Level. Their thoughts are more rapid. They're not slow, because once they're slow, they become what? Carnal. The carnal have a lot in it.
Yes, they do.
They got a lot of energy.
Yes, they do.
And their energy is directed to keep you what? Earthbound. So that's who you call. You say, he calleth together the wise men of his kingdom. He consulteth among them with freedom, and heareth what? The opinions of them all. But their opinions are based on what?
Fact.
Yes.
Not general proof.
Not general opinion. Because you're talking about the wise men, the conscious. See, some people label themselves being wise men. Well, you didn't consult with me. Why do I have to consult with you? Your actions already show that you're not wise.
It's not.
Your actions, your words, acts, and deeds already are indicators that you are not a wise person. Because a wise person would not act like that. And a wise person would not get offended if you didn't consult with them.
Exactly.
It's only the unwise that get upset. So it says, now, he looketh among his people with discernment. He discovereth the abilities of men and employeth them according to their merits. What's discernment?
That's the word.
Understanding.
Understanding, yes. But what else is discernment?
Concerns?
Huh?
Cautious.
Cautious, that's good. That's good. What else about discernment? You look amongst those with discernment. Come on now.
Fair and just appropriation.
That's good. That's good. Care, good. That means you take your time. You try to determine who fits where. Sometimes you make a bad call.
Okay.
But if you allow Allah to guide you, Allah will reveal to you who's who. And remember, when Allah chooses someone, they still are working out their life cycle.
Yes, they are.
So if they make mistakes or if they error, you determine as to whether or not the error was intentional or it took place, and you can recognize the lesson that they got to learn, because that's going to make them better. Right.
Yeah.
Going to make them better. But if they're intentionally doing things, then you have to make adjustments.
Yes, you
Yeah, but Allah don't make no mistakes.
You don't make no mistakes, Mark.
We make mistakes, but Allah don't make.
You know, he doesn't make them. He has you right where he wants you to be.
Yes, Islam.
And it's not a mistake. It's where you can grow.
It is an appointment. It is an appointment.
That's right, Mark. That's what it is. Yeah. He looketh among his people with discernment. He discovereth the abilities of men and employeth them according to their merits. So that means, how do you discover one's abilities? How does you discover one's abilities? And you're a leader now. You're in charge. How do you discover a person's abilities? Observation, yeah. What else? So trial, error, that's right. How else?
Performance.
Now remember, you're looking, and you're using your discernment. You're not picking your buddies,
Right.
those who are right with you. You don't surround yourself with a bunch of yes men, because all they're going to tell you is yes. They're not going to put nothing into the pot that's going to cause you to think.
And that won't be according to his merit.
No, that's right, Mo. That's right. That would not be according to what they have merit.
So their words, acts, and deeds.
Yes,
Combination of
all that. But you must examine with care and what?
Fix that
Fix
side.
not suddenly, because on thy present choice depends what? Examine. You got to be willing to examine. It says, and like Brother Crawford said, employeth them according to what they have what? What they deserve. Yeah, their merits. Okay. His magistrates are just. His ministers are wise. And the favorite of his bosom deceiveth him not. His magistrates are what?
Just.
What does that mean? They're what?
Fair.
They're fair.
Fair.
Yes. So the people that you have had to put in positions of authority where it has a bearing on the outcome of certain decisions, they must be what? Just. They must be just. They cannot be impulsive. They can't get caught up in their feelings. They must be just. They must be fair.
In dealing with the public.
Yeah, no.
But you know what, she,
Yeah.
by that right there, if that's carried out, a government, a country will be at peace.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're being re-educated to do. This is what we're being instructed to do. So when you come in leadership, you will have this in mind. So you'll know how to act, how to act. See, remember, you can't have a bunch of friends and make your decisions based on your friendship with others. You gotta be willing to cut ties.
It's not.
And you got to be willing to tell people if they are in error. And when you got friends, sometimes you're a little reluctant to pull them up.
Pull them up, yeah, you hold them accountable.
Yeah.
Just briefly. Based on what Brother James Hill just said, perhaps some of us are familiar with the statement, and the government shall be upon his shoulders.
Yes.
A lot of people think that that's specifically talking about some persons, some individual persons.
Right.
It's literally talking about these lessons be employed
Yes.
for the running of a government that is divine.
Yes. Yes.
And so if we get rid of that worldly, earthly concept
Yes.
and come to this
Yes.
divine concept,
Yes.
we will have a government upon
Yes.
his shoulders.
Yes.
Peace.
Yes. Look, we must return.
Turn. It's not that way.
We're talking about returning
Islam,
to this.
Islam.
And to give up that. Because from the earthly point of view, we can see what a worldly government does.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. It's a fact.
You can see the result of worldly decisions if you just pay attention. And you know for certain, this is not governing that.
It's not.
Because with this, that does not exist.
Islam.
So that's what he's doing. He's trying to instruct us, or the prophet is instructing us how to be leaders.
Run the government.
Because and you never know when your name may be called. And you must be prepared. You must be ready. And this is the criteria that we must put in place
It's not.
as best we can.
Islam.
Okay, peace.
Peace.
Islam was. Moderator. More science of love and cultivate. But all of them, they, growing up with Sunday school and Koran class. I think everybody got something to utilize that throughout the lifetime. It's just a steady work. One day, every day up. At this time, I call the sister, granddaughters, sister. These don't pay to be out of God one. Still here.
Islam. I give praise to Allah and honor to His holy prophet, noble Turan, honor to this wonderful Sunday school in Koran. Praise Allah for sending the prophet with these lessons and teaching us that we must use our reason and we can use these lessons to save ourselves. Prophet warns all Muslims, governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, and freedom, and when these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings towards the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card, button, cease wearing their turban or fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble True Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sins by order of Prophet Noble True Ali. Peace.
Islamos, they in Sunday school with Koran books about me. The floor is more for the dinner course. We got 2 baskets. We got our more uplifting basket. We got our other collection basket. If anyone like to make a registration, re-register, pay their assessments, raise their hand on their age and
Allah, the Father, universe.
Allah, the Father, universe.
Father, love.
Father, love.
Truth.
Peace.
Freedom.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night. And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Through Ali.
Through Ali.